Hey, there's the music. That means it's time for Animal Talk. Some of the best doggone pet people on the planet here to help you with your pets and have some fun along the way. I'm Jamie Flanagan, and I just want to say thanks to our sponsors, wearingfunny.com. It is the home for all your pet parent wardrobe needs. Get your cat daddy t-shirts, your doggy mommy shirts, all of those things available. Wearingfunny.com. Go there. And speaking of being an awesome pet parent and celebrating the beasts that bring so much to our lives, filmmakers are out doing exactly that, celebrating the pets and the people and their lives and how they're intertwined. And I mentioned, as I've mentioned before on the show, I'm a cat guy. Totally, definitely cat. I love dogs. I love me some dogs, but always will be a cat guy. And so this documentary caught my eye, and I'm like, I have to talk to the director and the creator of this, and so very, very kind to join us today on Animal Talk. Mye Hoang, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Animal Talk.
Hey, thanks, Jamie. I'm
And we're going to talk
excited.
all about cat daddies, and I'm going to brag about my cat
I
in
love it.
just a minute. But first, tell me about your childhood.
Well, I did grow up with cats. So let's start there. I did have cats and I had dogs, and I love both, but I think cats definitely suit my lifestyle a little bit better. They're a little bit lower maintenance.
What was your first pet?
Oh gosh. I had I took care of a stray kitty, and I don't even remember that kitty's name. It was so like when I was really, really young. And then my dad brought home a stray kitten, and at that time I named it Nermal because I was a big fan of Garfield.
Okay.
So I named her Nermal.
All right.
Yeah, and yeah, I've just had cats really all my life, and now I'm up to 6.
Wow. Okay. What
Yeah.
is the there's I know there's a scale somewhere for where does crazy cat lady kick in? Where's crazy cat guy, crazy cat lady kick in?
Well, according to the guys in the movie, they would say 3, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's no more work to have 6 versus 3, so it was just sort of like, why not?
6, it's you're entering colony territory there.
Yes,
It's
yes,
that's a good
yeah.
thing. So rescues, I'm assuming rescue kitties.
Well, yeah, the last 2 I had 4 before I started this movie, and just last summer I had 2 foster fails.
Oh.
So now that's why I'm up to 6. I did get 4 adopted out of the litter, so I did do some good work, but then I failed and fell in love with the last 2. So
What are you gonna do? What are you
yeah.
gonna do? So how did you embark on a career and as a filmmaker?
Well, I was always going in the movies growing up. I did not really There was not really a lot that I was allowed to do growing up because I grew up with my parents immigrated from Vietnam, and just they were super strict and protective, and so but we were allowed to go to the movies, so me and my sisters would go to the movies together. So I really just fell in love with the cinema. My first job was at independent art house theater. um, I studied film through college. I just always been writing and doing creative stuff. I ended up, I've been doing the narrative filmmaking. I did some short films with cats that were kind of like, some of them were commercials and branded content. So I think that sort of got my feet wet unknowingly. I really did not set out to like become this cat filmmaker or anything, but it's to make a documentary film. With this being my first, I kind of thought this would be a fun light project to kind of step into the documentary world, see if I like this. And it turned out that I really love documentary filmmaking much more than narrative, and that I think it suits me better as a person, as a creative. And so that was a great discovery. But what I also didn't anticipate discovering was how hard that this cat documentary that I thought was going to be easy would turn out to be. And part of that is because halfway through the shooting, we ended up in the pandemic
Ah,
at 2020, and that changed the trajectory of the movie in so many ways with deadlines. Also, just the cast had changed because of travel or because of all the stresses of what was going on that year, caused some people to drop out. So everything changed, but I still made it out with a movie that I think warms the heart and still touches people. So that's what I wanted to do.
so why Cat Daddies? What brought you to this story? And well, it's actually a set of stories.
Partially inspired by my own experience with my husband, who was not a cat guy at all when we were first dating. And it was by no influence of mine that, one day Cat found him, showed up on his doorstep, followed him around and then just kept coming back for food. And it only took a few days. He was smitten. He was
Yeah.
hooked. It was this particular cat because he had met my cats and it was fine. But there was something about this cat that led him in into a new world. And I saw him change. I saw the before and after. And I thought, there must be so many men, I'm sure, that have the same story and, that you would never peg as a cat guy. And I think you just don't know what you don't know. And I think men have been trained and just so long to like not like them.
So it's amusing. There was a car commercial with it's your typical truck and a boy and his dog kind of commercial, but it's actually a boy and his cat, and it's really funny because the cat's just doing all these amazing things, and people are astounded. They're like, "Oh, that's amazing!" He goes, "You have a truck, right?" And it just as your movie unfolded. It reminded me of that little commercial so much.
Yeah,
So
I've seen it too. And I think now is the time. Social media has changed the game, and I think a lot of men are coming out showing their pride of being cat owners and not being ashamed or afraid to show it, to unabashedly love them and be proud of it. And I think that's great. I think we're gonna find, we're gonna get more cats adopted. Um, and I think it's great for men. I think it's great for men to step out of the box and not be forced into what people think, makes a manly man. And that's really what the movie's all about.
I like it. So, where did you find your cat daddies? How did you get connected with? There's 6 gentlemen in the movie. Yes.
Um, it kind of turns out to be 9 if you
Okay.
count someone in the movie who we weren't really planning to interview. We didn't set out, but then it just turned out to be another great cat dad character. So in the end, it's 9, but most of them I was already following and I was a fan of on social media, and that's where I found them all. Like most of them were like, I wouldn't it be great if they were all these guys that I love were in a movie together and we could see their cats on the big screen and they could be filmed in 4K and just look really nice. And then one man or two was just a tip. They had no social media presence at all. There's one man who at the time was homeless in New York City, and there was a cat lady that was trying to help him for many years. And when she heard about my project, she begged me to consider, putting him in, and that's what we did.
Right on. So yeah, because it's I don't want to spoil anything, but there's one gentleman who has a lot of challenges in his life, and his cat's an important part of it. But sometimes it's hard to it's if you're struggling to take care of yourself, it's difficult to take care of a pet. On top of taking care of yourself. Anyway, it was nice to see how people came together and helped him out. Um, and
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
and
there were people who were trying to take the cat away from him,
right.
from his arms,
Yeah.
and they don't understand is that this was the only thing keeping him going. I think it's something it says something about the unconditional love that pets can have for humans, and a lot of times humans can't find that with each other. So
Yeah.
that sometimes the pet is everything to someone.
So I was trying to share a picture of my cat, and my computer's just absolutely evil. Um, I just updated it, and now it's like, you need permission to do this. I don't need permission to do anything, but apparently I do. Machines are evil. But I'm a cat. Like I said, I mentioned I'm a cat dad, and I got my little Percy cat at home, and he's an amazing little guy. My first pet we had like a stray dog when I was a kid, and then my sisters were the pet and animal people, and so just ancillarily, being the youngest, my sister had rabbits, I had rabbits, my sister had a cat, I got to play with a cat. But once I was out on my own, I was thinking about getting a pet and sharing my life with a furry critter, and I ended up going with a cat, a little guy named Kirby, and had
Oh,
him for about 20 years. So
oh wow.
yeah.
So
So
you got a senior guy.
he had a nice good long run, 20 years, and then it took a break for a little bit because I needed a break between the two. It's hard to jump right back into it. And then we got Percy, my wife and I. We went to the thing, and I was looking at this one cat that was just like losing its mind. It looked like a ton of fun. And then there was this little Percy cat, just sitting in the hammock, just chilling. And so we went for it. We got the Percy cat, and there's one of them. Where's one of them now?
One of my foster fills.
Oh,
Yeah, this guy's name is Rooster.
Rooster. I like it. So it's so where are you at? What's the gender of your cats?
I have 3 boys and 2 girls, and one we don't know because it's a feral that won't let us near her, but I think it's a she.
Okay. So I would wager that. So what I've found with pets, that girl dogs are more affectionate, but boy cats are the more affectionate, cuddly ones. And people
Mhm.
go, "Oh, my cat is like," and it's like, "Oh, it's so much like a dog," And generally speaking, 9 times out of 10, it's usually a boy cat. And usually the standoffish ones that only come out to scratch in the shins and then run away, those are usually the girl cats. Again, this is just anecdotal.
I agree. I would agree with that with my brood.
Yeah,
And
I
the
always
boys are
advise people,
clear.
get a
It
boy
doesn't
cat.
mean the girls are not cuddly at all,
Oh, no.
but they're just not as much so as the boys.
And sociable, like
Yeah.
my sister-in-law has a girl cat, and with big family gatherings, you won't see that cat. If we're there just 1 or 2 of us, you might see the cat. We got my wife's family, she's one of 8. Talk about a colony. So we've had like as many as 38 people for Christmas, and it's just crazy. And Percy, he's out there, he's just in it. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, there's a party, right on. So he's not one of those timid. And then people say, oh, he's like a dog. But actually he does play fetch. He will play fetch.
Mm.
So you've made the film. You've told these captivating stories. We don't want to spoil any of them, but cats are influencers. They're driving trucks. They're helping their owners survive some challenges. It's if you love cats and you love people and you love stories, it's a good movie to go see. What's next? So as a filmmaker, you make this film, and you're an independent filmmaker. I was talking to like one of these movie guys that I know in town, and I compared it to I wasted my youth hanging out with guys in a rock and roll band, and we'd be in the van driving like from Detroit, across the state to like doing the little to Michigan college circuit of all the Michigan colleges, and they'd be playing the bars, and we'd be running around in a van, and I kind of it's got to be like that, just kind of grinding it out, finding places to perform or to screen your movie. So I just kind of imagine it's something like just grinding it out and finding places to have your voice or the voices you're representing be heard. how much of a challenge is that, finding places to screen your movie?
Yeah, it is very similar to musical tour, like you said. I'd say some of the challenges I wasn't expecting was, it's even though it's been performing well, if you look at the numbers and you look at the data and our per screen average that we're making, it's on par with a lot of the other movies out there that have distribution that are, competing for awards. Um, but because it's a documentary about cats, it's really more challenging to get it taken seriously, I'd say, by a lot of the people who program the theaters that we're trying to get into. So, I have a booker in New York, and we work together as a team, and it's just a lot of like kind of like cold calling and pitching, and it kind of feels like you're raising money for the movie all over again, like trying to get someone to say yes. But we've done really great. I mean, especially for a documentary film in these times when it's really hard to get people back in theaters. We've screened at well over 30 locations, and then I've also done about 50 film festivals. So we're doing, and we're still, next week we're opening in 12 new cities, so we'll still keep going. It's really important to me, not because I'm this like filmmaker who holds their film very precious and it must be seen in a theater, or and but in the way, like, I am saying that, but not for the reasons you think. For me, it's about bringing the community together. um, I just think it's so much fun to bring cat lovers together in one setting, and to enjoy something like this together. And it's proven itself over and over and over again. We've had so many sold out, screenings across the country. And just seeing the joy on people's faces to gather again, and, to give out little, cat ears that they wear, or, cat treats that they take home to their kitties. It's just so nice to see people together, and to see the cats on the big screen, because I think that's what they deserve. We made this movie to be seen this way. That, I mean, we spared nothing in its cinematography, the sound, the music, everything. This is not something I made to be seen like on the internet.
Right, right, right.
So I hope people see it the way it's intended while they still can. Um, but if they don't, then you'll still be able to rent it later this year.
So that was the thing, you have it
Mhm.
in reserve, it's only available in theaters at the moment?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
until February 17th, and
okay.
then it will be rentable all over North America, so US, Canada, and we also have distribution in some other countries as well, so you'll also be able to get it in the UK and some other countries as well.
Alright, so it's catdaddies.com is the website, yes?
Yes, Cat Daddy's movie, actually, catdaddysmovie.com.
CatDaddyMovie.com, to find, the places it's playing. People listen to this wherever, whenever, however, but we're in the Metro Detroit area, and so you're opening up, on the 20th here, I believe.
Yes, so Cinema Detroit is a
Mhm.
very cool theater that is cool enough to play us and let us do giveaways, and it'll be playing for a week, so January 20th through the 26th. So should be a lot of fun to see that with an audience. It's a movie you could take your mom to, you can take older kids to,
Yeah.
and they'll love it.
That's awesome. So people can find on catdaddysmovie.com the different screenings that are taking place. And then so what happens after that? Once it's done theatrical and it goes you're going to make it available online. Do you have any deals with anybody? Is it going to be on a particular platform, or how are people going to find
Yeah,
it?
it'll be rentable everywhere, you can rent movies from. So Amazon, Apple, Vudu, all of that. And then we're working on a DVD, and the DVD will have some bonus features. So that'll be also out later this year. Believe it or not, I get a lot of requests for that.
For DVDs, yeah.
People still want physical copies, and
Get a
they
lot of
want to
requests
gift
for
it
the
to
VHS
someone.
tape still.
Not the VHS, but unfortunately. But yeah, so it's gonna keep going and then keep going internationally. So it'll eventually, I hope, be all over the world. And then I've got to figure out what I'm gonna do next. So
Yeah. So how important are the film festivals for you as an independent filmmaker to enter those and hopefully do well in them? How important is it for your film?
it really depends. It really depends film to film if it's important or not. There's definitely a lot of movies that are so marketable that they don't really need film festivals, and they can find an audience. But I think for this, it's been really, really instrumental in just getting the word out. Most of the people who know about my movie, it's all through social media, word of mouth. Um, so in a lot of the festivals, I've been playing film festivals since 2021. So it's just been building and building, and off of that, and it's been very helpful. And it also helped me figure out how to market the film, and just who the audience is, and figuring that all out. And it's just been a lot of fun. It's been really fun, especially to screen in cities where the cat dads live.
Oh, okay.
From the
Do you make
film.
it out to many of the cities when
Yes, we had a wonderful opening in New York. So almost all the guys were there. We had some wonderful ones in the Bay Area where we filmed. And in some cases, uh, a couple of the cats from the movie will come out to do
Yeah.
Q&A with us. Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun for people to get to meet them and take pictures of them and just see them in person. It's been a lot of fun to have everybody involved.
Because a couple of the cats have kind of a decent social media better than mine, for that's for sure. Social media following, and people want to come out and see them. It was funny that so the one guy was like saying in the documentary, he's like, "Don't drive 300 miles to see my cat. I will be around you soon."
Yeah, and that cat actually made it to some of the screenings. It was
Yay!
great. Yeah.
Oh,
So that was a lot of fun to see people interact. Oh, look
all
at
right. So
look,
there's the picture of Percy Cat.
look.
He's
This
a
is
beautiful
Goose.
blue eye. He's a mutt,
Yes.
but he's part
Oh,
American
of
short
he's
hair and
beautiful.
part Siamese. So he's got the little tips on his tail and on his ears, and he's squawky. And he's got very blue. He's
Oh,
got very blue eyes.
he's a beauty.
Oh yeah, and he's a beast. He's a big boy. Not as big. A couple of those cats were like really big,
Aw.
but he's a big boy. So all right. So you don't know what's next, right? So I was gonna say, what film are you doing next? You're still pondering. Any ideas in the hopper?
Oh, I have a few, but I don't have the connections. But I would sure love to do something on the feral cats at Disneyland, or the Hemingway cats in Key West.
Okay. So
Um,
another documentary you're thinking maybe perhaps?
yeah, yeah, I've just had so much fun doing this. Maybe we'll keep it going. I've had people ask me to do a sequel, but I don't know if we'll do that, but you never know. Because originally I did plan for Cat Daddies to be international, so but because of the pandemic, we ended up staying just in the U.S. So I have thought about going to other continents,
So
to
there you go. Cat Daddies Europe, Cat
yeah,
Daddies
exactly.
Pacific.
Asia or something. Yeah.
All right.
So we'll see what happens. I think it just depends on, how it's received after VOD.
Sure. All right. So, thank you so much for taking some time here. And again, like I said, check out the website. It'll be linked in the comments. And then people can go check it out or find it on demand once it's on demand in places. And
Mhm.
good luck with the rest of the run. And thanks again so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All
Have
right.
a
Take
good
care.
one.
Bye. Yay. All right.
Thanks, Jamie. Do you